Alright, this is the Civivi Wyvern that I got a little over a week ago. Did go ahead and sharpen it. It is 18 degrees per side, 1500 grit. And then I went ahead and stropped it the same way that I did for the other tests that I recently did. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick to that. 5 passes on each side on 3 different strops real quick. I've been thinking a lot about how many sharpenings does it actually take? Like, is there any consistency at all between companies, you know, manufacturing facilities? Do they all beat up the edge pretty good with a belt when they're running these things through the assembly line? So I was talking to Steve last night, and I think I'm going to do this one at least 5 times. This is the first sharpening. I have not used it since I sharpened it last night. So I'm going to go ahead and test it, and then I will sharpen it, test it again. Like I said, I'm going to do it at least 5 times, and we're going to see what the percent increase is every single time. Then I'm going to do some other ones, like I have quite a few Spyderco. Yeah, I like Spyderco, but man, does it take a good amount of sharpenings to really get them going. I mean, M390 Para 3. I mean, this guy, man, besides the problems I had when I got it, the very first package I opened was just like a bubble envelope somebody sent me, and it rolled like half the edge. I mean, you know, I had bought it, had to send it to Spyderco for warranty, just got it back, first time I used it, trashed the edge, sharpened it a second time, went to the same bubble envelope to see what would happen, and man, guess it trashed the edge again straight away. So it's on its 4th sharpening, and while it's doing okay, it really got me thinking. I have enough with factory edges still that I haven't even carried, that we're going to go ahead and do some. We're going to start with this one, and I want to see is there even any pattern in it? You know, if there's not a pattern, okay, you know, then there isn't a pattern. But I'm curious to find out. I'm just curious to find out what happens. You know, like Steve was talking about last night, having 5 sharpenings on a knife, and it does even better than it did any of the previous times. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit this out, speed it up, whatever. Since I'm only doing one knife, I am going to go ahead and show all the cutting. I'm not really going to be talking during the cutting, though. If I do, I'm going to have to stop. I'm horrible at trying to keep count of the amount of cuts and talk at the same time. So I did do 1 pass already on this to make sure that everything was at least going to be able to be seen. So here we go. Alright, so we're 50 cuts in and we're still shaving hair. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and write that down for the fine edge. I didn't expect it was going to do good, but I did actually expect it to do better than what it did, especially 60 cuts that are only 8 1/4 inches each. I mean, while that does seem kind of low to me, I guess it's not surprising. God, that's funny. My paper already got wet. And it's windy, so I can't even hold it still. And this is going to be a pretty short test after all, it's looking like. Alright, so we can cut paper. We're 60 cuts in. I'm going to do these in 5 cut increments since it didn't go very far. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this right now. It's got way too many spots it's getting caught on already. 65 cuts in. You know, yeah, I can force the edge and push it up front here where I didn't cut hardly anything next to the tape and cut paper, but alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to move over to somewhere where I can sit down and we're going to go ahead and talk about this. Alright, now that I moved where I can sit down, be comfortable, why I decided to start with the portion of the blade I did is put a little mark to start with a piece of tape at the end of the hole. Because I'm going to be doing this at least 5 times, I wanted to make sure I was using the same exact part of the blade every single time. So that's why I started there. Now, I expected it to do a little better than what it did. But when I sharpened this last night, this did not come up like D2 usually comes up. It wasn't hard to sharpen at all. I did follow the factory bevel, which was surprisingly even on both sides at 18 degrees. I mean, I'll give them that much at least. They did do a good job getting that right. But this cut 40 feet before the 1-inch section quit shaving, which is, I expect it to improve quite a bit. I did 5 more cuts and it went from easily being able to cut about 2 inches into paper. I had to kind of force it to get it started. So I'm definitely curious to see how much this actually improves And I also did talk to Kurt, and I'm going to get the testing of this done, hopefully all of it, over this weekend and into the beginning of the week, all 5 or however many tests I decide to do, so that I can get this sent to him to see if it, you know, so far from what I've seen from other tests, the Civivis are they've all been what they said they were for steel. I'd like to see what the hardness is, and I am going to be sending some other knives to him also to check. So that's what round 1 did. 40 feet before it quit shaving, and it actually went down pretty good between when I checked the last time and the second to last time, and then 40 more inches before it wouldn't cut paper anymore. So I definitely expected better, but like I said, from how it sharpened and how the edge came up, I'm not surprised at all. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, drop them down below. And as always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.